Wow.
Okay,
And-
I hadn't heard that yet. I heard so
And
far everything's just been.
Here's what happened, though. This is the crazy bit, is that when she told these people came back with the results. All the results were confirmed, legitimate, whatever. But the second she told them, "Oh yeah, that's Bigfoot DNA," well, not all of them, but most of these labs immediately said, "Do not mention my name, do not mention my lab, and don't tell anyone that you sent this material to us."
Wow.
But before she mentioned Bigfoot, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this is," and they were open, and yeah, blah blah blah, this is whatever. The second she said, "Oh yeah, it's Bigfoot," they were like, "Don't you fucking say a word. Don't use my name or the name of this lab." And
What do you think the reasoning was for that, Gareth?
Because it's embarrassing. You know, they're doing apparently legitimate work for government and law enforcement, and suddenly they're going to be labeled the Bigfoot Lab.
Right.
Now, see, as soon as somebody brings in a Bigfoot, and that's what it's going to take. I'm sorry.
I think we should leave. I think we should leave Bigfoot alone. I'm serious.
I know, but
I mean, come on. I mean, if you were running through the wild, right?
Leave Bigfoot alone. Leave him alone.
If you were running through the wild, Trevor, and nobody knew about you, how would you like it if you got shot in the ass?
well,
And then caged. And then caged. And then caged.
Yeah.
Why would you like it?
I mean, as long as I was well fed.
Put yourself in Sasquatch's feet.
Oh Lord, the puns of many. Yeah, I don't advocate for. I couldn't do it.
You sound like you're a violent person to me.
I know.
What's come over you?
I know. But how else? I guess. Do you tranquilize one? Do you
take photographs? Take photographs.
But the thing is, photographs people.
Trevor, so long as you've seen it, what does it matter?
And exactly, and I understand that too, and I believe that. I go, if I saw one, I'd be like, wow, I guess.
I mean, I live out in the fucking woods here, right? And if I was walking through the woods here, which from time to time I do go, there's a place up the road here I go and walk round. It's man-made, but I go off down one of these trails down by the lakes, and if I saw something that I didn't understand what it was, I would try to take a photograph of it, but I'd be damned as hell to come back here and get on the internet and say, oh, I've just saw this, here in North Carolina, and start posting photographs of it and letting everybody and the fucking mothers know about it, because you guarantee the feds would be on it like stink on shit. There'd be these huge fucking Black Hawk helicopters with guns trained in the woods, and huge fucking nets to try and catch it with. I mean, these people just go fucking insane for shit like this.
Well, I don't think that the government wants
Bigfoot
anybody to catch it, because you know what, it also if it is closely related to humans and whatnot, all of a sudden what happens to the religious world? I mean, they're like, well, what if we're related to this thing somehow? Like anthropology gets blown out of the water. There's so many different organizations that all of a sudden have to.
I have a quick question for you, Trevor, and I don't know whether this is true or not, but maybe you could shed some light on it. The word Sasquatch. Now, I remember years ago hearing that word for the first time in like some old movie, like The Legend of Boggy Creek or some shit.
Yeah.
And it was like Sasquatch. It is an ancient Indian word meaning Bigfoot or whatever. And it's kind of stuck. But isn't that like kind of bullshit? And Sasquatch is not some ancient word or anything. It's only popped up in the last 30 years or so.
No, actually, from what I've researched, up in Canada, Sasquatch for like the West Coast Native Indians, it means wild man, translated in English.
Is that true though? Because I don't know whether that's true.
See, that's just this is coming from documentaries with natives from BC's West Coast, and unless something's up, but Sasquatch is an old word, for basically translate into English as wild man. That's what I've always understood it to be. So, but there are natives. They'll come out. They do all have tribes throughout North America have different names for him, but Sasquatch seems to be. Maybe it's just a a slang term white people have put together.
I have no idea. I mean, I don't know whether it's a real name or not. It's always been called into question or whether or not it's an authentic.
My dogs are barking. I think I got a Sasquatch at the door.
You could. Sasquatch. Always been a fascination ever since I was a kid. Moved out to Calgary. 34 years ago was my first. What I always think as a kid, what would I do if I ever saw a Sasquatch, And
what's the other name? Halcomelum or something? So the Sasquatch is a anglicized derivative of the Halcomelum word.
Yeah. It could very well be. I mean, there's cases of Sasquatch going back, hundreds and maybe thousands of years. So. Natives claim that he's basically like the king of the mountain and lives in the forest, and there's stories of people from like the 1800s, the trappers that would go through the forest and describe these giant, look like men. So I'm pretty convinced there is something, but I can't be 100% convinced. I've never seen one personally,
not unless you caught one and killed it, right?
If I caught one and had dinner with them,
I think the Patterson footage is fairly compelling. I mean, I think that's as close as we've come to having like a legitimate film, that close, that kind of clarity. All the others are just like either a shadow or something in the far distance walking along, which it might be real, but it could be literally anything.
I don't know if this is embarrassing or.
Before we wrap this up, I want to ask you, Gareth, what are your thoughts? If you saw a Sasquatch, would you tell anybody? Would you try to capture it? Would you kill it?
Well, I wouldn't try to capture it, and I certainly wouldn't kill it, but I absolutely would tell people about it.
Would you tell them where you saw it and stuff so that you would?
Yes.
So you just let anybody just go and do whatever they want to it? Right.
Because if you look at it this way, James, if you were to say, oh yeah, I was walking in the woods the other day and I saw this big fucking Sasquatch, 90% of the people you tell that to are instantly going to think you're mentally ill.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
There's going to be a tiny percentage of people who might think, oh, maybe you did see something.
So then if you're going to let somebody else go and get it, why don't you get it yourself, and then maybe you could become, rich from it or something, sell your story to a magazine or something if you manage to capture it. No, I mean, if you think it's okay for somebody else to capture it, why wouldn't you do it?
No, I wouldn't try to catch it, and I certainly wouldn't shoot it. But I would I would absolutely talk about it and tell people.
Has it cost you wouldn't want to risk getting your head stoved in by it?
I wouldn't want to risk being brutally, savagely mauled by by some creature, being my face ripped off or something, or
Well, Trevor's still on the fence. Trevor's still.
Well, look, if I saw one, I would do my best to try to communicate it with it. I mean, I would honestly, it could.
You go up and shake hands.
Well, yeah, honestly, if I saw one, I would hope for all my research and experience that I would try to say hello, hey, it's worth trying to communicate.
Do you want to arm wrestle?
Yeah.
Oh, great. If it's as big as it is.
What's up? What's up, Sasquatch? Yo,
yeah.
Sasquatch.
You got some nice hair. Here, let me brush it for you.
No.
How could you even try to communicate with it, though? I mean, I don't even know where you would start. How could you? I mean, if it was a face-to-face thing,
yeah.
The first thing that Sasquatch would be thinking is, I'm getting the fuck out of here quick.
Well, yeah, that's...
He's not going to be standing there yapping about the weather with you. He's going to be gone.
Yeah, that's probably right. He could head into the forest and you'd never see him again. So, but...
Flash.
Yeah, big gone.
Until, you know what, someday, if it is real, one day some hunter is going to bring it in. I have watched videos where hunters have said they've shot at it. One guy has said in Manitoba that he actually killed one. He thought he shot a moose. He went up to it and
you know what these people now that do pranksters, they're gonna be. When I see this video, they're gonna be walking around with bulletproof vests on underneath.
Well, that's the thing. Like
Sasquatch uniforms.
there was a guy who he wore a suit somewhere in Georgia or something like that. He got hit by 2 women driving a car. He was wearing one of those. He was drunk and he was pretending to be a Sasquatch, and the women got scared and they just ended up swerving. And the guy was like, he up over their hood, and yeah, it was a guy in a Sasquatch suit. So,
yeah.
Let me ask a quick question. I gotta ask a quick question. Be honest with us. Be honest, okay?
Of course.
How tempted are you to put on a fur coat and run through the bushes?
Never.
Come on, be honest.
No, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do that.
Why not?
I think it's dishonest it's because I do believe in it, and if someone's camping and I thought, this would be fun, and I run through it, first of all, I'm risking my life, because if some hunter goes, that's my fucking $1 million shot, and blows my,
oh my God,
I would. It's dishonest. No, I wouldn't put on a suit.
No,
I think it's very dishonest. I wouldn't be a hoaxer. I could not do that. It's just against me to do that.
If I heard that they were trying to track Sasquatch down around here, I'd probably be one of the first people to get online and hire a Sasquatch suit and be running around in it just to distract them from catching Sasquatch.
They'd shoot you though, James.
What? Then I'd sue them.
If you survive, they might
survive. Yeah. No, I don't know. I wear one as a prank to, really prank somebody at a campsite, like you said, or something like that. That'd be funny.
Fun.
Running through it.
It is true though. Doing stuff like that, it does muddy the waters, right? It does because
it does. But
if someone sees somebody in the distance in the suit, they saw a real Sasquatch.
You could do it, and then you could come clean about it, like a month later or something, just so you could get, your video like 10 million fucking hits on YouTube or something.
Yeah. No, I couldn't do it because I do believe that
Sasquatch exists.
Something could live out in the forest. Yeah, there's just through.
I would agree.
Through all the research I've done, there's so much good research out there now. And actually, when I talk about technology, the modern day technology that has went over the Patterson film, I mean, they've come back and it's more real than hoax. Like, there's a couple guys who go, well, that's not real. But most of the modern day technology has been able to break that video down and go, it's real. Yeah. Like, there's no way a human could move in a suit like that. The way that the knees bend and the feet go straight up and down. It's just...
Well, for me, there's 2 things that makes me think that this thing is real. One is the Patterson footage, and the other one is the Melba Ketchum DNA evidence. Because despite all the disinformation that's been making the rounds about her and her results, I really think that there's more to that story than meets the eye.
And it is being buried, that's for sure. There's a lot of misinformation coming out. I've heard some stupid things about her that probably aren't true. But you're right, Gareth. Yeah, it is good evidence, but it's being suppressed for some reason.
Right.
I'm on the phone.
And again, yeah.
I'm not. I don't know if there is. I don't know if there isn't. I mean, they're finding these species of different things every day.
Right.
And different species are dying every day. So it's a good. It is a possibility that there is something out there. There's a possibility this thing can hide when people get close to it. I don't know if it's got like some chameleon type of thing it can do, or some kind of cloaking device. I mean, it could be like part alien or something. Who knows? But a lot of people have said that they've seen it. There's a shitload of recordings of different howlings, and animal experts have said, nope, never heard that before. That's not wolves. Wolves don't howl like that. It's not a bear growl. It's it's totally different. And people have seen them. A lot of people have seen these different things all over the United States and all over the world. So I mean, I think that there is something out there, what it is, and, I don't know too much about the Patterson footage, but to what I'm hearing from you guys, it looks like it's it's a good possibility that it is something that is kind of like ape-manish type of hairy beast that's
would,
running around.
I would, if you get a chance, James, or even viewers of this this hangout, is if you're unfamiliar with Sasquatch, Bigfoot in general, or the Patterson footage, just type it into YouTube. Patterson footage, Bigfoot, and you'll find it very quickly. And
I'll put a link in the about section below this video.
It's a very famous clip.
If I had to recommend the best Bigfoot information out there, I'd go, there's a guy on YouTube, his name's M.K. Davis, and he breaks down that Patterson film frame by frame, and it's the best information I've seen out there yet on it, that it's convincing.
Yeah, totally.
All right. You have been listening to James Cox, and this has been a special video. The Sasquatch Hunter, because Trevor Murray from up in Canada. Here he is. Look,
I'm the Sasquatch.
And
I've just seen the Bigfoot.
Gareth Davis from Mindset Central.
MindsetCentral.com, folks. Check it out.
You had your banner up a second ago. I don't know what happened to it.
I've been experimenting, dear boy.
Yeah, there you go. See, you can even put your website in at the bottom, so I don't have to say it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to wrap this up here. Thank you, gentlemen. It's been an interesting conversation, and we should have many more if you find out more information in regards to Sasquatch. And check out Gareth at MindsetCentral.com. And if you want more content like this, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and share and like my videos. And peace, and good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you.
Take care.
See you later.
Later.